Very often when it comes to art journaling, we have these go-to layers that we like to use, but very often it also takes just one little detail to change the entire meaning of a spread. This is my layer a day week 8, which was about no secrets in bedroom talk. And I'm starting very simple, just with some washi tape, mainly to protect my art journal before I actually start playing with the inks that I want to use, because I know that I might be colorizing my entire journal. And I don't mind a bit of seeping through, but I don't want to have the entire journal being colorized just with this one layer. All washi tapes out there are not very color or ink friendly, so I like to add a little bit of Snow White fresco finish paint, which is a chalk paint, and that will give adherence to the inks that I want to use for my next layer. So it still leaves the washi tape visible. It's a translucent layer, but it will tone it down and it will give adherence to the ink. Give my journal a yellowed paper, old vintage paper, rusty kind of feel. So I'm going in with all brown and orangey distress oxides that I'm then watering down with water so that I can swipe my journal through it. It's a very simple layer, but it's very effective. These oxides, okay, I have to admit, I fell in love with them because they really allow you to create so much depth with just one layer. They're very easy to use, and yet they will give a smashing effect. To have even more depth, I'm heat setting a first layer and then going back into the ink so that I can really layer it up on top of one another. Continuing with the same inks, I'm also going to stamp, and I'm using my latest FP 031 stamp set just to add some details into the background. If you want to know more about all the colors that I used or the products that I used, they're all listed in the description of this video. I really want this to remain a soft background stamping, so I'm already activating the ink with water, and then I will water it down even more later on to completely blend it and push it back into the background. Emphasize the old paper effect even more, I'm using Vintage Photo Distress Oxide with a makeup sponge and just going around the spread. And when I'm done, again, activating it with water to blend everything together in a very soft way. same step, this time with black ink to add some drama to my spread. And then blending with water. I'm going for an old book effect, so I don't care if the washi tape is curling up a little bit. On the contrary, I really think that it adds to the effect of the old paper. And if it's too much, I might add some glue later on, or not. For me at this point, it's time for some contrasting stamping. So I'm going in with black ink this time, still using my latest stamp release, and just stamping in the way that I feel like doing it. This is not something that I'm thinking about or pondering which effect I want to create where. I just go with the stamp that appealed to me at that moment and then stamp as long as I feel like stamping. It is something that I've said a lot of times already, but going with the first idea that comes to mind is always the best one when it comes to intuitive art channeling, because that is when you will be doing what it is you feel like doing. And it's not about the end result, it's not about rules that you should be following, it is about playing in a way that appeals to you, because that is when you will end up with a result that appeals to you. Doing the same thing with a different stamp, but I want this one to be a bit softer and to remain in the background. So I'm going back in with some color. It is a contrasting color, however, one that I haven't used yet on this spread, because I still want this to be visible, but not as visible as the black stamping. The stamping in black, I can create a gradient in how much I want that detail to stand out. I switched to a different kind of black ink because this one is wetter, it has more juice to it, so it will stand out more than the previous black stamping that I've done. So far, I'm okay with the background that I have. I'm okay with the framing that I have around the spread. So I'm ready to start working on what will become my focal point. And I'm going in with my latest stencil PS379 and some crackle paste from Finnavar. Now, if you don't know how to use crackle paste or crackle paint, I have a video on that, which I will link in the description of this video. And the easiest way to apply it is to make sure that my journal is laying flat. So I'm going to use one of those crocodile thingy things to keep my journal together and make it lay flat before I go in with my palette knife. Despite the fact that I know exactly how to do this, despite the fact that I've done this 100 gazillion times before, yes, I have accidents too. My stencil did slide away for a second, and that's okay. I just place it back and I just continue working as if nothing had happened, because I know that when I will lift my stencil, that's how it will look, as if nothing has happened. And once I'm done with this, I walk away. I leave my studio because I know that if I don't, I will end up with my elbow in my crackle paste or my finger, or I will drop something in it. The crackle paste needs time to do its thing, so I just walk away and I leave my journal alone for a moment. Continuing to work on it, you can barely see that it's crackle paste. So I'm going in with my water-soluble charcoal pencil. This is super smooth and soft, so I'm working very light-handed. Just adding a little bit of it around the edges of the crackle paste to emphasize the shape of it. And then going in with a water brush to push it everywhere in the little cracks and around the crackle paste itself. The spread is about no more secret. I love that my stenciled part looks like a road closed sign, but I want to emphasize that even more, so I'm going in with some Neo color too, and then again blending it in with water to make the shape of the stenciled piece stand out even more. The easy thing about the A Layer a Day challenge is that there's stickers that match the prompts, so I just need to pick the right words and then place them on my spread. And that will help me remember later on what this spread was about, what I was thinking about, what I was trying to express if the spread is not clear enough. But having done this, I realized that it wasn't clear enough. My closed road sign wasn't strong enough in itself. So I took the time to think about how I wanted to emphasize this while I was giving my sticker a little bit of color using the same Neo color that I used for that open space. And that is when I understood. I like to add a red tiny heart on my spreads as a contrast. Now I couldn't add a heart here because it wouldn't match the theme of the spread. So I decided to add a red little cross, and in came my Identity pen. These are sold in pairs. It's a black one and a red one, and they're both dual tipped. So I could very easily go in with the red one to trace the shape and then go back in with the black one to make that little shape stand out of the background. And that is how easy I could add a very surprising detail that I usually don't add to my spread to make the meaning of my spread stand out even more and to bring everything together. As I said at the beginning, we all have these go-to elements we like to add to our spreads, and for me it's those black splatters. When I get to the black splatters, I know that I'm almost at the end. It's as if I want to sit a couple more seconds with my spreads to let it grow on me, especially to let the meaning grow on me. And thinking about this red cross that I've added on this spread, which is something that I've never done before on any spread, to add like this very visual element in the focal point of the red cross. And when you link that to the meaning of the spread, which is about no more secrets, of course, it takes a completely new dimension. For me, it made me think that yes, our brain has a way of keeping secrets from us, keeping secrets from ourselves, and that it's time for brutal honesty with myself. There you go, no more secrets. This was Layer a Day, week 8. I hope you had a great time. See you back here next time. In the meantime, don't forget to put down a layer a day in a mindful way. Butterfly kisses.